What do Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan, and Yuri on Ice all have in common?
At first glance, they look very different anime, different genres, different tones, different fan bases.
But they all share one name in the credits, MAPPA.
And if you have been watching anime in the last few years, you have probably noticed something about MAPPA. When they are on, they are really on.
Their best work can look incredible. Their biggest titles can dominate the entire anime conversation.
But behind that success is also one of the most controversial stories in the industry. So today we are taking a full look at MAPPA, where they came from, how they became one of the biggest anime studios in the world, what their best works are, and why their story is much more than just flash animation. Hi, welcome to our channel. Here we talk about anime, share opinions, and explore the stories, characters, and studios behind the shows we love. If you love anime, you are in the right place. Because here we discuss anime honestly, from the biggest hits to hidden gems and everything in between. And if you love anime, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single video. And also like this video. Let's get started.
MAPPA is a Japanese animation studio founded in 2011 by Masao Maruyama,
one of the most influential producers in the anime history.
The name MAPPA stands for Maruyama Animation Produce Project Association.
Now that sounds like a technical company name, and honestly, MAPPA kinda feels like one too, because from the beginning they were built to produce ambitious anime on a big scale.
Their early goal was not to become the stylish action studio or the studio behind the hottest shonen. It was to make strong, serious animation projects with a lot of creative freedom.
And somehow, over time, that studio became one of the most recognized names in modern anime. MAPPA didn't start as industry giant overnight. In the early years, they were known for taking on different kinds of projects.
Not just giant battle anime, but also emotional stories, sports anime, horror, and dramas.
That flexibility became one of their strengths. One of their earlier major projects was In This Corner of the World,
a film that took a long time to complete, but helped establish MAPPA as a studio that could handle serious, high-quality work.
Then came a turning point. As anime demand exploded globally, MAPPA took on bigger and bigger projects. They expanded their production system, opened more studios,
and started handling major titles that instantly put their name in front of international audiences.
And this is where things get interesting. The more successful MAPPA became, the more pressure they seemed to take on. If you ask fans what MAPPA is known for, a lot of them will say the same thing: energy.
MAPPA's best work often feels fast, sharp, dramatic, and full of motion. Their action scenes can be explosive. Their emotional moments can feel intimidating. Their framing often makes anime feel cinematic.
That's one reason why people get so excited when MAPPA is announced for a new project. Because when MAPPA is at its best, it can make a series feel huge.
They know how to build hype. They know how to make a scene move. And they know how to make characters feel like they are at the center of a major event.
But the same ambition had also led to one of the biggest criticism of the studio. MAPPA is also controversial because of production pressure.
Over the years, there have been repeated concerns about overwork, tight deadlines, and the stress of handling too many major anime at once.
This became a huge topic, especially around some of their biggest recent works.
And this matters because when a studio is producing massive titles at a rapid pace, the people making those shows are often the ones feeling the pressure the most.
So MAPPA is in a strange position.
On one hand, Fans praise them for delivering some of the most exciting anime of the era.
On the other hand, critics argue that the production system behind those shows is unsustainable. That tension is a huge part of MAPPA's history. Now, let's talk about the good stuff, because MAPPA absolutely has some incredible anime in its catalog.
Jujutsu Kaisen. This is probably MAPPA's biggest modern hit. It brought huge popularity, massive fight scenes, and some of the most talked about animation in recent years. Chainsaw Man, stylish, violent, cinematic. Chainsaw Man felt like MAPPA flexing everything it could do visually. Yuri on Ice. This is one of MAPPA's most beloved series because it proved they could do more than action. It had emotion, elegance, and a huge impact on fans. Dororo, a darker, more atmospheric series that showed MAPPA could adapt a classic story with real style and heart. Attack on Titan, the final season. Taking over such a massive franchise was already a huge challenge. MAPPA's role here made them central to one of anime's biggest events. Dorohedoro, one of MAPPA's most unique productions. Strange, gritty, and visually distinct.
These titles are a big reason why MAPPA has such a strong reputation. When they choose the right project and give it the right production support, the results can be amazing. MAPPA isn't just another studio.
People care about them because they have become tied to some of the most beloved and most discussed anime of the last decade. When MAPPA announces a new adaptation, fans pay attention immediately because MAPPA has a reputation now, a reputation for big moments, huge adaptations, and high expectations. That's why the studio gets so much attention online. Every new trailer, every key visual, every announcement turns into a major conversation.
In a way, MAPPA has become the brand of expectation. So what is MAPPA really?
MAPPA is a studio that represents both the excitement and the stress of modern anime. It is a studio that can produce incredible work. It's a studio that helped define the current anime boom. It is a studio that made some of the biggest titles in the world look and feel bigger than life. But it is also a studio whose story raises serious questions about how anime is made, who carries the burden, and what happens when demand keeps rising faster than production can realistically handle. And that is why MAPPA is such an interesting topic, because this isn't just the story of a studio with great anime.
It is the story what happens when creative ambition, commercial pressure, and global popularity all collide. So if you think of MAPPA as just the studio behind Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man, that's only part of the picture.
They are one of the most influential anime studios of the modern era. They have made some of the most loved anime of the last decade, and they have also become part of a much bigger conversation about the future of anime production.
And that's what makes MAPPA worth talking about. Not just because of what they have made, but because of what they represent. So, what's your favorite anime from MAPPA? Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe our channel.